What's up, everybody? Doc Dog 1985. Yo, there's levels to this. So, you know how this is, man. Whenever I sit down, I want to have these conversations where I'm trying to think logically. I want to present ideas to you guys, or questions, or just my thoughts, and see how you guys feel. I brought the old school mic because I don't feel like yelling or anything like that. But here's the deal, man. I feel like Microsoft is literally one move away from running away with this generation. And as crazy as the generation just started. Can Sony turn it around? Yeah, but once you have a head start, it gets very difficult. But look, I'm not here to talk about Sony. I'm here to talk about Microsoft. So let's talk about Microsoft. First of all, they're geniuses. They understood that they were losing the console war as far as games for games. It is what it is. I think they understood that. Even if the narrative might have been over exaggerated about the Xbox has no games, it doesn't matter. I think when it comes to the money and the profit, I think they understood they were losing that. And they did what any good company would do. If they adjusted their approach, they adjusted their business model. Same thing with everything else in life. If you're trying to do something and it's not working out, you should probably change your approach to it and see if it works. If it is working out, then why would you change it? And that kind of makes sense to me. So they changed their approach. They did become a service based entity, a service based gaming company. And at first glance, it seems like that's bad, right? But when you really think about what you get as a consumer, it could permit tremendous value. So, and the way they went about it is genius because you almost have to have, if you consider yourself a gamer, you almost have to have a good excuse why you don't want Game Pass. Let me take that back. You could simply say you don't like Game Pass. You could simply say that, but you don't really have a reason not to like it. In my opinion, you really don't, or at least you don't have a real reason not to like. This is better. You can dislike Game Pass, but you really don't have a reason not to dislike Microsoft or an Xbox, period. And this is what I mean. I have an Xbox Series X, and I will admit to you that some of the reasons why I purchased the Xbox Series X versus the PS5 right now are not coming to fruition. I purchased the Xbox Series X because I believed it was the more powerful console. And even though I know everyone's going to tell me that it is the more powerful console, I'm going to argue with you. Because if a game is not running at a locked 60, I have an issue with that, especially in this generation. Okay. Now I know patches come out and they fixing all this other stuff, and everybody's telling me that in the future it's not even going to be close, whatever. Okay, I'll wait for the future, but I'm alive right now. I'm playing right now. I'm playing today. I want these things to work today. And on the other side of the pond, I see games running at better frames. It just is that, or at least the games that I'm really interested in looks like they're running at better frames on the other side. Okay, but it is what it is. So that's one of the reasons why I bought it. I also bought it because, and this is my mistake for not fully understanding marketing. I thought it was going to work exactly like a PC, meaning every single game was going to be able to use its power. So I didn't understand that FPS boost had to be a thing. So I'm glad that Microsoft is actually doing that, but I didn't know that that had to be a thing for all the games to run that way. But the games that do run with FPS boost or HDR or upgraded textures are amazing. Like they do really run amazing. Like I always go back mentioning the Gears of War. Like playing those games on the Xbox Series X was amazing. Never dropped a frame. Everything was smooth. Even when it was crazy firefights, it was amazing. But I bought the Xbox Series X on different expectations. Okay. But once I had it and it was my way of experience Game Pass Ultimate, which is what I have. I have Game Pass Ultimate. The value of that system astronomically rose, right? So $15 a month, I get to play all these games, okay? That for me are new experiences. So I understand people not wanting to play old games. I honestly do understand people not even wanting to play remakes, um even though I'm curious to see how all these remakes that they're gonna make, how they're gonna sell, right? Because I think remakes are gonna sell well. But I understand people saying, hey, I already played it once, I don't want to play it again. But I hope you can understand that there's a lot of players like me. There's plenty of players like me that look at that catalog on Game Pass and see more than enough games to play that's worth the $15 a month. So Microsoft has the value proposition, Microsoft has it down. Okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The not the opportunity, the options Microsoft has down as well. Because one of the biggest arguments I see about Game Pass is you don't own your games, you don't own your games. Well, just because you have an Xbox doesn't mean you have to have Game Pass, and doesn't mean that just because you have Game Pass doesn't mean that you can't buy your games. Like you can buy your games physically if you got an Xbox Series X, or you can buy them digitally as well. So you can still buy your games. So I have the option as a gamer to use this amazing service and buy my games, or I can go ahead and use this service to see if I like a game or play the game, play it, run through it once, and don't worry about it again. Okay. And then what they're doing, as far as I was always the type of gamer, because I've been a budget gamer, that I never got to play games when they came out. That's why I have such a big catalog of games to play, because I would always wait for games to drop in price, like really drop in price. You guys know my motto. I don't spend over $20 on a video game, right? So I would wait for games to really drop in price, and then I would buy it. So I would be late. I would be late to all these amazing games, which at the end, sometimes it turned out to be beneficial. And then sometimes it sucked, because I would hear other people talking about it, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't justify. If I couldn't justify dropping $60, I'm being honest with you, I couldn't justify dropping $70. I just couldn't, right? For just one game. But with Game Pass, there's plenty of games that they're allowing me to experience whenever everybody else is experiencing them day one. Think about if you're a YouTuber out there, or a Twitch streamer, or YouTube streamer, or Facebook, whatever, and you want to use this content, and you want to play the latest and greatest games and do reviews, whatever. You can literally do that when every single one of these games drops. If they drop on Game Pass, you good. You could have done Yakuza 6 review. You could have done Outriders review. You're gonna be able to do MLB The Show review, the Medium review. Like all these games, you're gonna be able to do because of Game Pass, and that includes PC players as well that had those games drop. They're genius though. See, Game Pass is different enough where the bigger value, in my opinion, is the console version of Game Pass. So it kind of, if you really want to experience the full potential of Game Pass, you almost have to get Ultimate. But Ultimate is where the deal is at. So you have all this. So you have this option where you could buy your games, or you could play your games day one when they come out, right? Which is amazing. I don't know how anyone's gonna argue against that. And then here's the beautiful thing, right? Everyone said that when the Outriders demo came out, it wasn't good and all this other stuff. People weren't bragging and boasting about it. Correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like Outriders is doing just fine. It looks like I see people streaming Outriders on Google Stadia, GeForce Now, on PC, on Xbox. I mean, people are streaming this game and actually playing this game. Correct me if I'm wrong. But even let's just say Outriders is not a good game and is not your type of game, the fact that you didn't have to rely on reviews, you could have actually tried out the game yourself. Yo, that's a huge win. How are you going to argue that? And you and I both know reviews aren't everything. So yeah, if you're saying, look, I just look at the reviews and then I just buy a game that's good, that's cool. But that can come back and bite you. Or even worse, if you only stick to reviews of games, you might miss a game that's literally up your alley that nobody else really liked. But if a game comes out on Game Pass, you don't have to rely on the reviews. You could go ahead and try it out yourself. So, and no, I'm not gonna say for free because you're already paying for the subscription, but that's part of the perk of the subscription. So we have third-party developers that are dropping games day one on Game Pass. Microsoft's games are going to be day one on Game Pass. You can try older games, older gems that maybe you haven't tried on Game Pass. You can go ahead and buy games that you really like on Game Pass at a discount as well. And I hear what people are saying, you're not getting it at a discount. You already paid the $15. So then that means if that's the case, if you don't want to count that discount, then that means that Microsoft is giving me um a fair exchange then. So they're already that's so pro consumer regardless, because they could have just charged me full price for the game, which then the argument would have been like, oh, you're paying $15 a month plus you're paying full price for the game. Microsoft's not even doing that. So what you're saying is that Microsoft is so pro consumer that they understand they're already getting you $15. So we're gonna go ahead and give you this percentage off. Still winning. Like how still winning. So you don't want to count that as a full discount because you're already paying that. Okay, cool. And then here's the other thing, right? When it comes to the consoles, aren't we all paying for online anyways? Or you only play free online games? Actually, you know what? If you're on a platform that doesn't have lots of multiplayers, you might not even need to pay for the online. So maybe you don't, because you're mostly single player based one and done type games. But I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm the type of gamer that could probably do without the online subscription because I don't really play games online like that. I really don't. Only one I play is Apex Legends, really. That's it. Everything else I play, I like story-driven games, single narrative. That's just my stuff. Walking simulators, like you guys call them. And then I like shooters too. Shooters and walking simulators, like you guys call them. That's the stuff that I like. But Microsoft is giving us this generation, they're giving us a lot, man. And I don't regret one bit getting my Xbox Series X. So they have Game Pass, they have great deals, and then they also have cloud gaming. Now, xCloud, when you log into xCloud on your phone, it says beta. They're letting you know it's still a beta, right? And I'll be honest with you, it plays like beta. I played GTA 5 on my phone the other day, and I'll be honest, it was actually better than I thought. It was. It still doesn't compare to this thing when you're playing Google Stadia. It doesn't. But man, it was pretty good. It was actually pretty good. I was actually impressed. Now, I always tell you this disclaimer, I have great internet in my house, so it is what it is. But Microsoft is working on this cloud thing. So another options for gamers. So you're going to be able to play these games on your console, downloading them extremely fast. The speed, look, Google Stadia is fast. It is, okay? But once you have a game downloaded on the Xbox Series X, there's nothing faster. Google Stadia is not booting a game faster than the Xbox Series X. I'm sorry. It's just not. From sleep to start, that system is quick. And if you got that game in your rotation of the quick resume, it's a wrap. Google Stadia can't even compare. It can't. It can't. I would challenge anybody who wants to challenge me on that. It just can't. It can't. I'll make a video if you guys want. But you have that. You can play it on your console. You can play it on your phone, and they are gonna put xCloud on laptops and on PCs. So Microsoft is into the cloud gaming. They're gonna get that locked in. Okay. Google Stadia is gonna have to figure out a way to compete against them. They got the value of gaming. Okay. So where you're getting the better deal, a lot of people perceive Game Pass to be the better deal. They got that locked in. The only thing that can be argued about Microsoft right now, which is what this whole video is about, because if they once they do this, and if they do it right, the console war is over. This generation of console wars is done if they do this right. Great, listen to what I said. Great exclusive games. We know games are coming. Games have to come. Okay. If Microsoft delivers on great exclusive games, meaning exclusive to the Game Pass platform or to the Microsoft platform, meaning PC and console, because it is what it is. That is what it is, right? If they deliver on great exclusive content on PC and console, they would have taken this generation over. There's nothing else to argue. And what's crazy is that even though they haven't done that, think about this. What is a great Xbox Series X or next generation game right now for the X or the S? What is it? We can't name one, right? Maybe you can. But the fact that we can't name one and Microsoft is still making headlines and it's still an amazing value, yeah, that would be scary for the competition. And then when Microsoft is telling the competition, I'm not even competing with you, I'm competing with them. Microsoft specifically mentioned them and Amazon that they're competing with. They're not even competing with you. Yeah, that's scary. So that's the one thing that if Microsoft does, the generation is over. Microsoft is going to have it hands down. So we'll see if these banger games come out. But even if they don't, and all they do is drop great third-party games on Game Pass day one, and we get to play them for $15 a month, that's still pretty good. So we'll see. Can other company catch up? I'm sure they can. I'm sure they could figure it out. But right now it's looking real good for Microsoft, Game Pass, and the Xbox platform as a whole. Oh, and don't let them find the tools. Don't let them find the tools. Listen, do not let third-party games run better on this machine, because then it'll damn, I just thought about that. So if it's scary right now, if it's looking scary right now, it can get really, really scary really soon. Dog 1985, yo, there's levels to this, man. And when you're beating the competition, arguably, without even doing the main thing that you're supposed to do, which is produce games, yo, there's levels to that too. We out. Peace.